To create an election, go to Admin and then Elections Admin. Select your organisation from the drop down and press Create New Election. You need to give your election a title. This title has to be unique. And then you set when it's going to display on the website. And you can put a description in here if you wish. Now that you can do the nominations through the website, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to set the nominations to open today, and I'm going to set it for 9 o'clock in the morning just so that they'll be open, so I can show you how that works. And I'm going to set them to close tomorrow at the same time. You also need to put an online manifesto deadline. You can just put that at the same time as the end of your nominations. And a paper manifesto deadline. You can put in a deposit amount if you wish to have your candidates submit a deposit. This is very rare in Oxford. You can allow slates. You can put a max number of candidacies, and you can put any terms and conditions on the election in this box here. You can change the visibility of your election with these settings here, but for most purposes, leaving them as basic works. You need to put a message for those who won't be eligible to take part in your election. It's probably a good idea as well to add a contact for people who think that they should be eligible but are showing up as non-eligible. You can add an image to your election and any help text here. Then you need to set the date for your polling. You don't need to worry about postal or proxy voting unless you're using them, in which case you can also define them. Voter terms and conditions can go here, abstention confirmation text here, and then voting completion text here if you wish. It's pretty good to use a default rubric describing what single transferable vote is, and then save the election. Now we need to add some posts to our election. So if we go to posts and add new post. If you select the little drop down here, you'll see these are all of the positions which are in your organisation. Now because this is a test organisation, I've only got President, Secretary, Treasurer and Vice President set up. So let's choose President. You can put a short description in here describing a little bit about the role, the number of places, so there's only going to be one President, and you can set a quorum, which means the minimum number of votes that have to be cast for it to be a valid election. To copy the rubric here. You can show the organisation name. It's not really necessary though, because it will be appearing on your page. You can also set to have proposers for nominations. You can use one as a candidate. You can require paper forms. It's probably good as well just to set it so that only admins can withdraw candidates. This just stops people getting confused when they accidentally opt out of the candidacy or opt back in. You can allow manifesto texts. You can add a word limit to those, and you can allow photos and slogans and a word count to those as well. So there we go, there's that post. Now you can manually add candidates by going to candidates and then clicking on the position and searching for them. Please do bear in mind though that if you search for a student who is not part of your JCR, they will still appear here and you will still be able to add them. It will not discriminate about whether they are eligible or not, so you need to be quite careful about who you're adding. But I'm going to show you how nominations work now. So we've got no candidates and we've got one post in our election. So now if I go to my JCR page and under the voting tab, it will have automatically generated the election. So this is what any members will see. So if I wanted to nominate myself for this, I could click here. And to stand in this post, you must provide the following details. So this is my test accounts details. I can press save. Oh, I need to put a phone number in. Okay, so I had to put in a fake number there. So you press save, and then it will open up the nominations. So if I press stand here and submit nomination, then I am pending approval. So if I go back into the elections admin, go to my election, and then go to candidates, and look at the president, then I can see I have this test member who wants to run. If I click on their name here, then I can approve them as a candidate and save that here. Now once you're all happy for your election and you've got all of your candidates in place, you can then approve the election. If you don't approve the election by the time that polling comes about, then the voting will not be open. People will not be able to vote in the election. Okay, so I've changed some of the settings so that today is the day that voting is opened. And you can see down here there is a big green button that says vote now. You'll also notice that it's changed from stand in the election to the candidate list. So if I click vote now and start voting, here it will show me all the positions that I'm able to vote for. Start voting. This is the rubric that we put in, which explains what single transferable vote is. And here we have the two candidates. So we've got test and we have run. You don't need to put anything for run or for any other candidate. If you only have one person that you'd like to vote for, you can just put one and then click no further preferences. And then it will show you a review of your whole ballot. So if there's multiple positions that you're electing for, you then go on to the next position and vote for that, and then it would show you a full review of your whole ballot. But I cast my vote here, and there we go. I've cast the vote in the election.